transported a critically ill baby who came in on oxygen.
That was, at that time, not breathing.
That at the time was found to be pulseless and transported in a way that was not according to standards of practice and was found to be pulseless in the cardiac cath lab. Reports, as we know, investigations are still ongoing. What happened in that interim is yet to be determined.
So, three things.
The medical negligence happened between after he got over-sedated, as affirmed by the medical director, and in addition, he was transported by the anesthetist on his shoulder, unmonitored, not on oxygen. And that is pure and total medical negligence.
Wow.
And a critically ill baby who came in on oxygen was disconnected from his oxygen for transportation, unmonitored.
Well, why was he disconnected from the oxygen?
I can't answer that question.
So that was that due to absolute negligence?
Pure negligence.
So wait,
resulting in cardiac arrest and from the oversedation and brain injury.
So
health is one thing that everybody wanted to have a good health. When it comes in terms of you losing a loved one, it feels so bad. Nobody like it, and that is why many countries in the Western world are spending millions of dollars and millions of euros, if not billions, to provide medical health care for their citizens. And that is why many African leaders and many rich African citizens are always traveling abroad to go and get good medical care. But when it comes to look at those who could not be able to afford it, the government, who are spending huge amount of money, of taxpayers' money, to sponsor their loved ones, their families, members of their cabinet, then themselves to Europe, America, and other Western lands to get medical health. They are not care about the facilities of medical care in their own land. That brings us to the story of our own Chimamanda, who just lost her son to negligence of Nigerian medical health care or medical doctors or medical practitioners who, according to the story, which we are also going to hear from the family source, what they say that lead to the death of their beloved son. It's something that is very, very bad. It makes us to begin to have a rethink, to able to find out what is exactly wrong with most Africans, particularly our African leaders. Let us not talk about the medical doctors who have chosen money and wealth over life of people because they wanted to enrich themselves. They wanted to, make life miserable for people. But one thing will lead to one thing or lead to another that will make the nation to one day rise up to defend themselves, because if you dare sick in Nigeria or other African country that doesn't have good medical care, that person's life is at risk. It just, you are in the mercy of whatever you hold dear to. Negligence of our doctors and our hospital attendants are very alarming. It's high time government really look into the medical care. If not, why are they leaving Africans, their country, to travel to Europe to go and obtain medical care, even check-up, to go for check-up? Does it mean that we don't have good doctors in our land? But you see that the system has collapsed. The system has spoiled. There's nothing that is working again. And that is why even local government chairman, we wanted to have everything done abroad. But when you listen to the story of this, our beautiful sister, my condolences to them. And I know how sad it is, how painful it is if Nigeria happened to you. Because what just happened to Chimamanda and the family is Nigeria really happened to them. And it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. Government really need to rise up and defend their citizens. It is high time we all rise up and defend our citizens, defend ourselves, because life is wealth. That is, when you see some people find any little chance, any little opportunity, they will leave the country and swear not to come back again to that country called Nigeria. And that is why those who have already left the country, majority of them does not want to return back. Reason, there may be some people that already have a chronic illness, some sickness that they know that if anything, if they're stranded in Nigeria, something bad might happen. Look at our own boxer that have accident with his colleague, the ambulance and the road safety that came to their rescue. They not even have any single, not even one medical equipment in their vehicle. I don't know, how are we presenting ourselves to the international community? Chimamanda is not just a local figure, it's an international figure. So imagine what this thing is portraying to the world concerning us as a nation. It is high time we rise up to look into our medical facilities. Not only medical facilities, a lot of things need to be fixed in that country. A lot of things need to be fixed. Otherwise, people are dying in masses for lack of negligence. People are dying in masses every day for the mistakes of our medical doctors. If you didn't buy card, if you didn't bring this, you didn't bring money, then nobody will listen, nobody will touch you. But in Europe, in the Americans, where they are coming, just call an ambulance. Ambulance will come and pick you up. Then they first of all save your life. Then after we'll talk about the bill, if you are to pay the bill. But this, they don't provide anything. Still, they are still washing their world. Died before their very eye. Pay attention. Let's all listen to what their family have to say. Then we will come back. Please, this is your first time. Just share this video so that other people will learn from this, so that Nigeria will stop happening to people. Otherwise, don't you ever pray for Nigeria to happen to you. That is my also prayer for each and every one of us. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.
But we don't want his death to be in vain. Apologies are not enough. Taking responsibility is not enough. We're demanding a thorough, transparent investigation and consequences. For this to result in systemic, sustainable changes in the Nigerian healthcare system, multiple levels need to be involved, including the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, which is the licensing board for healthcare providers in Nigeria, the Ministry of Health and the policymakers, hospital boards, hospital leadership, individual healthcare providers, and the general public. There needs to be ongoing, continuous medical education of providers, supervision of providers, patient safety systems in place at multiple levels to prevent tragedies like this from happening. The general public needs to know what their rights are, and they should have a forum to be able to speak up when they feel or they don't feel that their loved one is being treated with respect and dignity.
And many of them are not even aware of the power that they have to address the issues like you're just doing now. A lot of them just fade into oblivion and, call it God's...
it's God's will
or whatever.
And no one knows about it.
Exactly. There's even been incidents. Do you also think that we need more medical lawyers that will support patients and fight their cause? Absolutely. I don't know whether we have enough of those here, because if every hospital that created such misdemeanor, if they were being, and it's not about money, but if they were being sued and they were losing hundreds of millions with every scenario like this that happens, maybe they will be a lot more careful. But I don't see things like that happening. You hear of controversial deaths like this, and then after a while it just fades into oblivion. So do you also think that we need stronger medical lawyers here?
Absolutely.
To be able to handle these cases and
medical
let it see the light of the day?
Medical malpractice is almost, and consequences is almost non-existent in Nigeria.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Patients don't have a voice. Patients, there's no one advocating for families or the general public and those who can't afford it. There's no forum for patients to speak up and share. Healthcare providers also are poorly trained, not accountable to anyone, have no compassion. It's as if life is just so cheap in Nigeria.
Do you also think that the level of training remains poor because of this Japa syndrome? Because if you look, I think recently our doctors apparently had gone on strike or were supposed to have gone on strike. And every time you look at the medical system, it makes you wonder whether we're not even living in very dangerous times. Because most of these hospitals, they train doctors to a certain level, but the doctors japa. So do you think also this adds to the malpractices that happen in hospitals, the level of quality of doctors that we have on ground?
I think there's a fundamental problem in the healthcare system and the training systems in Nigeria. The training systems are very deficient. The doctors literally have no mentors, they're not supervised. They don't even know, many people don't know what patient safety systems are. It's a system, it's not just a thing, it's a system that is designed to prevent this kind of thing. So, even if doctors are jabbing, the few that are left here should be trained properly. They should know, they should be aware, there should be consequences, there should be systems in place to prevent
But what would have
tragedies.
thought in a place like Eurocare, such things will not be compromised?
Well, it's obvious that the doctor did not follow standard practice, standard clinical practice. What is the accountability at the individual level and at the hospital level? We will see. But there has to be accountability. Every provider, every hospital, every institution needs to have in place accountability structures, not just being fired. Because this person who's being fired can go to the next hospital and do the same, commit the same mistakes. And it's not just that. The provider that I spoke with at the hospital was so nonchalant.
After the incident happened?
Yes, I spoke with him.
Are you serious?
I interviewed him. He was so nonchalant. He was literally...
This is after the boy had
literally was looking at me and smiling, and I had to say
He was
to him,
smiling?
There's nothing funny here. This is not funny. There's nothing to smile about.
Wow, that's
So
what he's smiling.
I don't understand why there's no element of compassion, empathy.
So there was no remorse, there was no sorrow, there was no...
None.
Oh my word.
So, and he was clearly negligent. He was clearly negligent.
But was he aware that he was negligent? Was he aware of his negligence, or it was brought to his attention after?
This is where, it's a verbal report. I don't have the medical records yet. It's a verbal report. His medical director did admit that he was clearly negligent. He did not take responsibility. But the medical director did so. And admitted
at least.
that this particular provider was incompetent. Okay. He did not follow standard clinical practice for a patient who was critically ill.
A 21-month-old baby.
21-month-old baby, critically ill, on oxygen, had just received, we don't know how much IV sedation he was given, but again, it was affirmed.
Overdose.
It was affirmed to the Chimamanda that he received too much propofol.
Oh my word.
And after that, proceeded to transport my nephew
with no oxygen,
with no monitoring, no oxygen, no continuous monitoring, which is standard clinical practice.
How was he transported? Did he carry him?
On his shoulder.
Oh, he carried him on his shoulder.
On his shoulder.
Oh my word. Someone that was meant to be on oxygen. Oh my word. So I'm so sorry to hear about this. And I want you to understand, please, my condolences. I'm so sorry to hear about this, please. We're so sorry that this has happened. Please give our heart